So, how do you actually prove you own the ground beneath your feet? It seems like a simple question, but the answer can get incredibly complex. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the amazing system Romania has been building for centuries to do just that. It's a system designed to give absolute certainty to one of the biggest investments you'll ever make.
I mean, just think about that for a second. It's a pretty terrifying thought, right? You find the perfect place, you sign all the papers, but then one tiny mistake, one hidden claim buried deep in some old files could make the whole thing fall apart. That's exactly the kind of nightmare scenario a really solid property system is designed to prevent. And that's where Romania's land registry system really shines. The best way to think about it is like a pyramid of trust. Seriously, each layer is carefully built on the one right below it, and they all work together to make sure every single property transaction is secure, transparent, and completely legally unbreakable.
Now, any good pyramid needs a massive, solid base. And for the land registry, that base is the idea of certainty. This isn't just about shuffling paperwork around. No, this is about building a stable, predictable market where literally everyone involved, whether you're a first-time homebuyer or a massive bank, can make decisions with total confidence. So, why does that certainty matter so much? Well, for one, it gives you absolute legal security. It has all these verification stages built in specifically to catch problems before they turn into huge, expensive disputes. It also means everybody has to play by the same rules. Every single document gets checked for accuracy, and the public record stays a source of truth that you can actually count on.
And this level of trust, it wasn't just built overnight. You can trace the roots of this system all the way back to 1849. It started with these old handwritten ledgers and evolved into legally binding registers. But the real game changer, that happened after 2000 with the big shift to digital. And that's what created the hybrid system we have today, which blends modern speed with principles that have been battle-tested for over a century. Okay, so with that foundation of certainty firmly in place, we can move up to the next level of our pyramid. These are the pillars holding everything up. And they're not just abstract legal ideas. They have a real direct impact on every single property sale. These three pillars work together perfectly. First, you've got opposability. All that means is once your ownership is in the registry, it's enforceable against everybody. No surprise claims popping up later. Second is full disclosure, which guarantees total transparency. The entire history of that property is out there for the public to see. And finally, the legality review acts as the ultimate safety net. A registrar personally verifies that every document is legitimate before it becomes official. All right, so the foundation is set, the legal pillars are in place, and now we get to the blueprint. This is the practical, step-by-step process that actually turns a sales agreement into legally recognized ownership. This is where the rubber really meets the road. The whole journey has three clear phases. It kicks off with a public notary who authenticates the deed, making sure the seller actually has the right to sell the place. Next, those documents are submitted and they get a chronological entry number. And this is super important because it establishes priority if, say, multiple claims get filed at once. And finally, it all lands on the desk of a qualified registrar for that one last super detailed legal review before the ownership gets officially stamped into the record books.
So, with all that careful checking and rechecking, how long do you think this all takes? A few months? Maybe a few weeks? Nope. Get this. The law actually requires the ownership transfer to be registered in a maximum of just 9 days. That's an incredible balance of speed and security.
And that brings us all the way to the top of our pyramid, the guardians of the system. These are the human experts, the architects who run this complex machine. They use a combination of deep legal knowledge and modern tools to protect the integrity of the whole thing. Two key roles really make this whole system click. You can think of the notary as the gatekeeper. Their job is to focus on document validity just to get the process started. But the registrar, they're the final judge. They focus on strict legal compliance and have the sole power to approve or reject the registration. It's a really powerful system of checks and balances. But of course, these guardians aren't sitting there with quill pens and giant paper ledgers anymore. The system is going more and more digital, and this quote really nails it. The goal of all this tech isn't to replace the system's core principles, it's to make them faster and even more powerful. And the impact of this digital shift is something you can actually see and feel. Just look at the difference. Processing times plummet from weeks down to just a few days. Automated validation almost completely gets rid of human error. And you can access records 24/7 online. No more trekking down to an office. It's a huge leap forward, both for efficiency and for transparency. But, the transition isn't perfect. It's a hybrid system, and that means you're going to have some real-world hurdles. You've still got physical documents that have to be scanned, and that can create bottlenecks. You have different levels of digital literacy out there, and sometimes these old paper records just don't want to fit neatly into a new digital format. It's definitely a work in progress and one that takes a lot of careful management. And that really leaves us with one final big question. In a world that's always demanding more speed and more efficiency, how do systems like this one keep evolving? How do we embrace all the good stuff that technology offers while still holding on to the irreplaceable value of human oversight and legal diligence, the very things that built this trust over a century? That's really the central challenge for the future of secure ownership, not just in Romania, but everywhere.